An ancient and lethal disease which has remained inactive for decades has awoken in Russia's Urals region. Anthrax, also known as Siberian plague, has already killed a 12-year-old boy there. More than 90 other people are in hospital over fears they may also be infected. More than half of them are children. Medics wearing bioprotective clothing are working in the area. They're vaccinating people in the contagion zone, but say the outbreak is under control. Well, let's take a look on the map here, the area where the disease has been detected. Experts say that unusually warm weather is responsible for the outbreak, defrosting cells which had been dormant for decades. Reindeer also that graze in the area were the first to be infected. More than 2,000 have already died. Well, the herders who kept them, they're also at grave risk. Let's take a look over here on another news wall of what can come from it. The disease can turn fatal if not treated with antibiotics, taking 2 or 3 days before symptoms begin to show. Now, anthrax enters the body through the skin or lungs. It also can provoke meningitis. Well, we spoke about the risks with a professor of preventative medicine.
The anthrax bacteria can survive for long periods of time in something called a spore. And when that spore gets into the human body, it opens up and the active bacteria that can cause illness occurs. It can, if you inhale it, cause pneumonia. It can get into your bloodstream. It can get into cuts in the skin and cause local infections also. It's a very serious infection once it gets into the human body and can have the capacity to kill the individual. In Siberia, this is an uncommon event. And of course, the issue is that a reindeer likely defrosted from the permafrost because of the heat wave that occurred, and that animal had the anthrax bacteria, the spores, in it, and then it got into the environment around that, and other reindeer who were nibbling on the grass actually acquired the anthrax infection themselves. You know, the heat probably contributes to this in another way too, in that the grasses are dry and rough and they cause sores in the mouth of the reindeer, and that's how the anthrax spores get into the animals and then spread. The measures undertaken by the Russian public health and Department of Defense authorities seem to be very comprehensive. First, they're trying to get rid of all the carcasses of the dead animals. That removes the source. Second, they have moved the people from those areas out so that they do not become infected. And then they're vaccinating the reindeer and other animals in that area, and that will end the outbreak.
Well, the Siberian plague has been feared as one of the world's most deadly diseases for centuries. And even when a cure was found, it still could not be eliminated completely.
The cure for Siberian anthrax was originally invented in the 18th century by a scientist who infected himself on purpose. But the deadliest outbreak happened almost 100 years later. In 1979, during failed experiments in a Siberian secret lab, 64 people died. Now it is classified as one of the most dangerous biological weapons. Japan and Britain have also carried out military experiments with Siberian anthrax in the 20th century. In 2001, envelopes containing Siberian anthrax were mailed to US senators, killing 5 people and infecting 17, just weeks after the 9/11 tragedy.